focus of the budget was the roadmap for fiscal consolidation and looking at reaching 4.5% of the deficit by 2025-26. And that single decision has actually allowed us to do a lot of investments in different segments: healthcare, infrastructure, social infrastructure, rural infrastructure, agriculture, going forward. So if you look at the infrastructure sector, there are multiple things being done for the infrastructure sector to enable long-term finance for the debt finance for the infrastructure sector. In addition to the NIIF, which is there, you're looking at a development financial institution that will enable the funding of infrastructure projects going forward. It's most going to result in physical infrastructure or other equipment. So it's going to create demand for certain products and sectors. And this increased demand is actually going to generate the confidence in the economy and enable companies to increase their investments and increase capacity utilization and then create jobs. So in that context, if you look at the budget, this is a budget that is focused at creating short, medium, and long-term demand, creating investments, and with demand and investments, obviously comes job creation. It's up to the government to decide which are the banks that they would look at. We have some very large banks there, which are structurally important. And if you look at the annexure, and that is very important to see, the strategic sectors where they'll not disinvest, actually public sector banks and financial institutions are there, along with telecom and transport and space and others. This is the annexure to the budget, which you did not see. So don't see some of the large banks being privatized. LIC was example insurance, and they've increased the insurance FDI to 74%, which is with some caveats. That's also positive. So you might see some of the mid to small banks being done. Recently one bank which was in a problem was actually merged with a foreign bank situated in India. So you'll see things like that happening. But the public sector banks have played a very important role during the COVID crisis. And I think so it'll be very strategic, this investment going forward. In fact, a lot of the announcements in the budget, in some of the cases, are over a period of 3 years. So you have to actually look at that going forward. And they're looking at not only primary healthcare centers, they're looking at increasing the capability to detect and control things at airports, ports, and other points of road points of entry. Because if you recall, the virus actually came in through from overseas. It was not a domestic produced pandemic. So the surveillance methods there, they're looking at it. They're looking at improving diagnostic capability. They're looking at improving research capability in addition to the primary healthcare centers and the secondary healthcare facilities across that. So it is across the area. Yes, some incentives could have been given for the private sector health to also invest, but as of now, there are provisions. Those provisions have not been removed. There was a hope that from 100-bed limit will go down to 50 or to 25. But let's see, it's still a work in progress. And but as a common person, right? This and linked with the Ayushman Bharat program, right? It is very important because healthcare being a major component of our daily expenditure, it is a very positive development for all people within the country. So they're focused on human capital, both in the higher education. If you look at the annexure, which talks about the investment according to the national new education policy, you will see that they have actually outlined a lot of focus on digital infrastructure for education, which is not in the speech, but is there in the annexure. They have looked at the whole advantage for digitization and digital payments and looking at that sort of thing for the future. If you look at the infrastructure, which is key, right, and public transportation and infrastructure, it's all building Atmanirbhar Bharat for the future. If you look at the whole aspect of the bank recapitalization, the asset creation, the asset management body, and the development financial institution. These are really medium and long-term, competitiveness enhancing things, along with the electricity and the rural infrastructure, and of course all the steps that they have taken in agriculture, fisheries, animal husbandry,